as the world continues to mourn the death of Queen Elizabeth II. Things are turning around much speedily for the United Kingdom.
Her Majesty served in uniform in the Second World War. She made the argument with her father to allow her to serve in uniform. Her father was a naval officer. Her Majesty married a naval officer. She had sons and daughters that served in Her Majesty's Armed Forces, and her grandchildren served with the British Army and the Royal Air Force. So there was this personal connection, and her interest, her support for those in uniform, and that extended to families and friends. And then the professional relationship in that we serve the monarch, and that's how we express our service to the monarch and to the nation.
With King Charles III taking over as the monarch of Britain, the date for the Queen's funeral has also been released. Ahead of the funeral, the King and the Queen consort on September 12th will travel to Edinburgh to join a procession from Holyrood House to St Giles Cathedral. The King and some members of the royal family will follow the procession on foot. Meanwhile, the Queen's coffin will lie in a state and will be kept in the cathedral for the public to pay their respects. The funeral of Queen Elizabeth II will take place at 11 a.m. on September 19th at Westminster Abbey. The Queen's coffin, which is currently in the ballroom at Balmoral, will be carried by 6 people from the Balmoral estate on September 11th. It will be driven by heirs to the palace of Holyrood House. The journey is expected to last 6 hours. On September 19th, the coffin will first reach at Ballater and move through the city suburbs. It will then enter Edinburgh from west and then reach the palace of Holyrood House. The coffin will rest in the throne room for the staff members to pay their respects. The authorities have announced a bank holiday on the day of Queen's funeral. Agency report, Republic TV.
Meanwhile, Russia has claimed responsibility of the recent strike in Ukraine. According to the Russian Defense Ministry, its forces struck the facility of the National Guard of Ukraine, in which up to 300 Ukrainian servicemen were